and welcome back to Gapey's greenhouse. It's another wet and rainy day and lots of gray clouds here today. Just your typical winter day in the Seattle area. So here in the greenhouse we've actually had some growth on some of the plants in here since last month. This here is the spinach, and I've actually harvested quite a bit of the spinach. It's doing really well. I'm not seeing too much issues with the spinach here. And then we've got a couple of kales over here that I planted fairly earlier than the other kales over there. But it's doing pretty good. I've harvested a few of the leaves off of those as well. And the parsley is still surprisingly doing pretty good despite it getting down to 20 degrees in here a couple nights. But it's doing pretty good, and I've been harvesting that quite a bit. The curly kale isn't growing quite as fast as the other stuff in the greenhouse. I have harvested a few leaves, but not very much. And then the bare necessities kale, it's also growing a little bit slow, as kind of expected this time of year, but I have harvested a few of those as well. And then the pak choy, I haven't harvested any pak choy. It's not really doing super great, especially this one here, which when I showed it last month, the leaves were pretty floppy, and it's not doing much better, and in fact it's looking a lot worse. So I'm not sure what's going on with this one, but I don't think I'm going to be harvesting that. And then the other ones here, they've got some damage. I don't know if it's slugs or what, but you can see a lot of holes in the leaves. And it's pretty wet here, and they don't like a lot of moisture. But I've got some of these cups around because there's a little bit of rain coming through the roof of the greenhouse, and I'm trying to catch the extra moisture because we don't want these to get too wet. I've got another cup here next to the Swiss chard that's getting pretty wet back here, and the one in the back corner, there's a lot of moisture coming in. You can tell by the color of the soil here, but it's definitely not happy. The leaves are kind of turning brown, and I don't know if I didn't think it would be caused by moisture, but it looks like something else, but I don't know. But that one is not doing well at all. This one here is doing pretty good. I haven't harvested any of the Swiss chard yet either. And then over here on the other side, we've got our arugula, the wasabi arugula here, and I haven't really harvested any of that. It's actually almost looking like it's trying to bolt, but it hasn't been super warm. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like maybe there's some bolting action going on, and I really have a tough time growing arugula. It always bolts on me so early. So I need to find a slow bolting variety, I think. And then our radish experiment back here, I planted these really super late, and it's not going very well, as you can see. I think it's just too moist and not enough light in here. You can see a lot of like mold and fungus growing on these because it's just too wet back here, and not enough airflow. So I don't really have any windows in here, just the door, and no vents or any fans or anything. So these are not doing well at all. I don't think I'm gonna get any out of here. Actually, the white icicle over here isn't doing too bad. I'm not seeing any fungus on those. It's pretty dry over on these. And then we've got some more parsley here. That's doing pretty good. I've been harvesting quite a bit of that. And tatsoi is doing pretty decent. Some of the lower leaves are turning a little bit yellow. I haven't actually harvested any of this yet, but I probably should here pretty soon. And then we've got mustard. The mustard is doing great. I think it's probably doing the best out of all the stuff in the greenhouse. So this is a purple mustard here, and it's mixed in with I think it's a Southern Giant variety there. So I've got 3 of each of those back here. I thought that was a slug there for a second, but it's just a dried leaf here. And then, yeah, the tatsoi, doing pretty good. And then over here, I've got a pile of leaves. I think I showed this in the last video, but this is to cover up the, what is it, not ginger, turmeric. I've got a couple turmerics in there that I'm trying to grow. So I covered that to protect them because they don't like too cold a weather. So I'm hoping they're going to grow back in the spring, and maybe I'll get a harvest. And we've got our elderberries here. They've pretty much lost most of their leaves, which is, I mean, that's what they're supposed to do in the wintertime, so I'm not too worried about it. I haven't decided if I'm going to top these or not. I did plant one of them in the front yard, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these other two. I think I need to plant two in order for it to produce berries, so I need to find some place to put at least one of these. And also I've got some sticks here and some soil, and this is actually blueberry cuttings. So I'm gonna give blueberry cuttings a try and see if I can get some of those to root. This is the blue gold variety, so we'll see what happens. I think I did this once before, and I did get one to root, one of my pink lemonades. So I'm gonna give it a try again with this variety and see what happens. And that's all we have here in the greenhouse, so I'm gonna go back inside and get dry. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk to you again soon.